everybody. Welcome to the Brainal Podcast. This is episode 4. Yeah, it's 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Episode 4, and I am Jepi Condile.
And this is Frozen GFX.
And unfortunately, Mr. Giggles wasn't able to make it today. He had some nothing to do. But we're just going to keep going, and we're just going to wing it today and see what's going on. Frozen, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Now that Giggles is not with us, man, I'm doing amazing.
Oh, yes. I feel like Piccolo once he got rid of his weighted clothes.
Okay, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you been playing this week?
This week, I just finished new parts for Myst, so I was playing that.
Cool.
Of course, my guilty obsession with Battle Islands. I don't know why, but I keep playing that game. It's got its hooks into me, man, and it's not letting go.
Is there an end game to that at all?
I don't really think there's any end game to this particular game. It's going to go on forever, and it's just there for the quick 5-minute. Hey, I want to just do something in this, and then I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very quick, touch and go. I played a lot of Destiny the past week. Playing a lot of Mayhem. Well, it was Iron Banner before. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, I had no interest in playing Iron Banner before when it came out during the weekend of last weekend. But then you mentioned the drops that I might get. When
you get anything good?
I didn't really get anything good, but but it was the hope that I might get something good that kept me there. And then I was trying to kill two birds with one stone and try to take down 2 different quests that needed the Crucible. So that kept me going. So yeah, I've been playing that. I haven't had the chance to play much more. I had some computer issues a little bit earlier this week.
Computers.
Computers. And so I had to get that sorted out. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new computer in the future so I could do some PC gaming.
That's cool.
So that's going to be in the works. But that's pretty much what I've been doing. I think I played some Plague on my phone, and that's about it.
Yeah, I hear about a game like that, but I haven't really looked into it at all. Speaking of PC gaming, it just came to mind. The Steam machines, or at least the first one, the Alienware something, Alpha something maybe, is coming out next month, and I was actually considering picking one up because, I happen to be, for different reasons, I got Macs, right? So I don't really have a PC.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Why, what's up? Frozen, are you okay?
You can still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so my mute's not working. Awesome. Go ahead. Continue.
It's all good. So basically, I was thinking about picking up one of those Steam machines, mainly because I would like to play those other PC games that I don't really have a chance of playing on the Mac, because obviously there are more, PC compatible games,
right?
But also it would give me a way to not just stream. If you don't know this, and as far as what I'm aware of, streaming games on the Mac is a pain in the butt. So if I have a Steam box, essentially, I can have the use the Elgato and capture that gameplay and post footage of that. But I still don't know yet. But yeah, if you were to get something, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a computer, not a Steam machine necessarily.
Right, exactly. And my system's so old that it really needs an update. I cannot play any of the new games that are out there and for PC. And there's a lot of things I do want to try, but it's just really, I've built this probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Wow. So it's pretty much obsolete at this point. And
hey, it lasted.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I come from that background of you build it yourself. You piece out the parts yourself, and it's gonna last you for a long time rather than buying something off the shelf. So yeah, I spent a lot of time putting together my parts and built it to what I wanted it to be, and it's been a champion. It's been awesome, but as things do, they get old, and
Yeah.
now it's time to upgrade. So
Yeah, I hear that. So I've been playing, and obviously you helped me with a few of the parts. I've been playing Soma, finally getting more headway into that, and
right,
I think we're pretty close to the end. So
it feels that way.
yeah, and what happened in the story as far as the revelations we've had, very to me at least very interesting. I kind of just want to play that as it is and just beat it just to see what happens. But obviously we have to do that a certain way. But anyway,
Right.
I've been really enjoying that game. Haven't played too much Destiny. You know this. Oh yeah, so I finally beat Dragon Quest Heroes. You know this for the
Yeah,
review.
congratulations.
Thanks. I'm working on that now, and I spoke with you about this earlier. It's my very first game review. It's kind of definitely a process I have to get used to, but I'll work on streamlining that too. I will play Yoshi's Woolly World after that, and what else have I been playing? I haven't even played any Metal Gear this week because of Dragon Quest.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a shocker.
What else? Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but that's pretty much it. And I've been watching. Oh man, I know this is not about video games, but the latest episode of Bob's Burgers, the Halloween episode for season 6,
Oh really?
it was playing last. I was watching my room last night, and I was kind of going to sleep, and it actually got really creepy. Like it woke me up. I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? But it was a fantastic
Freaked you out.
episode. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I love that
Cool.
show.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that. I think I'm on season 4. I need to watch season 5, and then move into the newest season. So
Yeah, man. But I mean, we're waiting on Netflix, right, to post.
yeah,
season 5,
exactly.
Let's see. Let's see what else. What else? One thing I wanted to. This was an idea that I thought of today. I think we should do something special for Halloween, and I think what we should do specifically is play PT.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa,
So
wait.
I think. How far did you get into it when you played?
I would say all of about 6 to 7 minutes.
Okay. So I think what we should do is I think you should play it, and I'll watch. And we'll capture it, and I'll post it.
My God.
I think that would be great.
And we're wanting to do this next Friday?
Yeah. I think that would be a great idea, so we could post it on Halloween.
Gotcha. I foresee something happening to my PS4 that day, so.
Oh, it's all
I
good.
don't,
I'll just Amazon Prime you a new one.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that
no
one
problem.
going to be destroyed also?
Yeah, I'll find ways. No, I gotta jump in feet first with this thing, man. I gotta cure myself being scared of these type of games.
Do you remember what to
I'm
do?
a
in
grown
PT?
man. No. I
Okay,
don't.
cool. Because I was thinking about, well, if I played it again, I've played it before. I remember what to do. I think it would be a lot more entertaining if you played it.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. When I get scared, I don't really vocalize anything. I kind of close in on myself, and I have more expressions in my face than anything. So I don't know how entertaining that's going to be, but I'll try my best, and it just may be me whimpering as I play this game.
The only thing I wish PT had was a way to restart, because I think it's going to start you off where you were last, unless you didn't really progress anywhere.
Yeah, I think I walked through the doors twice, and then it was just like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Gotcha. Let's see what else. Trying to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Halloween, have you heard about the Friday the 13th game?
No,
The new
I
one
had
coming
no
out?
idea about that. No.
So, it's a Kickstarter project right now, but it's backed by a couple people I really like. One, I really like Adam Sessler. I think he's a no BS kind of guy. So
Oh, Adam Sessler's awesome, man. Back
yeah,
from the
so
tech,
he
G4
actually did the
days.
Kickstarter video for it, and you could tell he was really sincere about it. But get this, I don't know why they think about this before. So basically, and I think this is going to have way more success than Evolve. Basically, you and a few friends, most of you play camp counselors, one person plays Jason. And you just have to, I think, survive the night or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I did back it, and I think I backed the one tier that comes with a download code. And so I'll give you the one that comes with an extra download code for a friend. So whenever that comes out, I'll shoot you that download code and we'll play. It's a Xbox One, PS4, and PC, so we play on PS4. It'd be cool. I'm excited.
Cool, man. I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, no problem. You thought I was gonna give it to Giggles?
No, I just forgot about Giggles now. I mean,
yeah,
that's not even a question.
yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. What else?
So I got one thing that I ran across today. Actually, this video that I saw, and just bear with me on this. So,
sure.
Vin Diesel, the actor, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was, or either was or is, I think he is, a very avid Dungeons and Dragon
like
player.
tabletop?
Yeah, like a tabletop game.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I didn't know that until I saw a video today with him and a few other people who happen to be voice actors going through a session, I guess, on that tabletop game. And I got to say, man, I was very much entertained by, I guess it's the DM, the Dungeon Master, right? His ability, apparently it's a well-known voice actor. Can't think of the name right now, but he did such a good job in voicing the different characters and different monsters that came out, and it made me think, man, I've never played any of those type of games, and I always thought they were pretty cheesy and pretty just boring as is.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't really say that if you never tried it.
I know, but it was an assumption that I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm right for having it, but by no means am I right. But it made me really think differently about that type of thing. And I was like, man, I could have been enjoying this type of gameplay if I would have just given it a shot. And I wanted to ask you, have you done any tabletop games like that ever?
I have never played Dungeons and Dragons. However, I did play a few years ago at a friend's house, and he had other friends over. We played, oh man, there's no way I would remember the name of it, but it was a tabletop adventure where it was like a haunted house. And as you walked through it, so hold on, I need to make sure I got this right. So straight Dungeons and Dragons, from what I understand, there is no board. There are no pieces, no nothing. Mm-hmm. It's just the DM talking and then die, right? Like that.
Yeah, the setup that they had, yeah.
Yeah, and people could take notes as far as the characters or whatever. And yeah. So what I played actually did have board and pieces and you can move and stuff like that, but there still was someone like a dungeon master. And I do remember that as you would go from one place to another, the house, so it looked like a floor plan of the house, you would add rooms to it. So it wasn't just one big static board. So it's pretty dynamic and modular that, the dungeon master could do whatever they want with it. We didn't beat it, obviously, because I know it takes hours, but that night we didn't have that much time. But it was a lot of fun. But the closest to exposure Dungeons and Dragons is I'm a fan of game trailers. And I don't know if they actually still do this, but they've had for a while a fairly weekly series where a few of them would just play this long Dungeons and Dragons game. I think it was Dungeons and Dragons or some other version of that. It'd be hours and hours, and it'd be like a weekly episode thing, and it'd take a long time, but it was pretty funny. I really would, honestly. I think it'd be a really good idea for me and Giggles to do it. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I definitely want to try a Dungeons and Dragons type game. Having seen this video, man, it really got me involved in it. I was very entertained by it. The person that was the dungeon master, I just found his name, is Matthew Mercer. So I guess he's a very predominant voice actor. But man, he did such a great job on that, and then the whole cast itself, it was great. It was awesome.
That's cool. Oh, one thing we could talk about is Future Day.
Future Day, please elaborate.
Future Day. Please. When you say please elaborate, what do you mean by that?
Can you kindly explain what Future Day is?
Back to the Future Day?
Yes. October 20, what just passed, right?
Yeah.
That what you're talking about? Okay, gotcha. We're on the same page.
Okay, I didn't know if you were a fan at all of Back to the Future.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. So, what were your thoughts on the fact that that day has finally passed and nothing at all like what it pictured? I remember when I first saw Back to the Future 2, and they showed that, at least a daytime version of the future. The nighttime version with Biff and his tower kind of scared me, but the daytime version, like, it was so colorful, and I enjoyed it so much. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for that.
I know, right?
And now it's just I want to say there's no difference, but considering what we're doing right now, there's a significant difference. But
right.
yeah, I really actually want to get the DeLorean for Rocket League. I want to pick that up.
Yeah, and really quick thing about that, apparently the people who made the car, or made the game and added that car in there, did such a great job with it that when somebody destroys you, the license plate stands up on its
really?
end
It spins?
and spins. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know
so
that.
That's pretty cool.
That's so cool. Let's see. What else?
Yeah, well, my thoughts on it, since you asked, really, I'm ashamed to say, when you said Future Day, I kind of freaked out because I was like, oh, crap. What day is it? So I completely missed Future Day a couple days ago. And I wanted to look up in Twitter, and I wanted to see things that were going on. And I think there was going to be some kind of, I don't know, reunion or something, albeit very short, with Michael J. Fox and
I thought I
Chris
saw
Malone.
a photo. I think it was it Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah,
Live?
so
I think they might have had something.
I completely missed it. So that kind of kicking myself on that. That's why I was like, please elaborate. When I was checking the calendar, I was like, crap, I missed it. Oh my God, why?
Let's see. What else? Which one was your favorite Back to the Future? If you have one. I like them all.
I think the second one.
Yeah, 2 for
Yeah, I
me.
think
I was talking
yeah.
to one of my friends the other day. He said 2 sucked. I'm like, what? You
He
don't
sucks.
know. Thank
Was
you.
it Giggles? Was it Giggles? Is
No,
that why
it was not
was
Giggles. I'm curious if Giggles has even ever seen it. We'll quiz him next time. He's not going to listen to this.
Oh, but yeah, of course.
So we'll quiz him next time. Let's see what's going on.
A little quizzy.
Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Let's see. What else going on?
Halo 5 is coming out next week. I know you're not excited for that.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
could care
am. Triforce, I always mess this up. Triforce Heroes comes out today. Fatal Frame came out yesterday.
Fatal Frame.
Assassin's Creed is actually getting some pretty good buzz. It came out today.
You know what's not getting a good buzz?
What's that?
At least I haven't really seen much about it. Blops 3, man. Like, there's nothing significant about that release coming out, right?
I've seen a lot of press
Really?
about it. Yeah. It's coming out in a couple of weeks, actually, right? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen that much. I mean, I've seen that poster and I've seen the logo around, but I haven't seen heavy commercials or anything about that.
Oh, well, I
You
think that's
know,
your
like
problem. I think. Well, I mean, okay. How often do you check video game news?
not very often, to be
Okay,
honest
so
with
that's
you.
a difference. Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
talking about from the mainstream.
yeah. I'm definitely talking from the mainstream. I mean, everything that I've seen in the past with Call of Duty games, or these really AAA type games coming out. I see very heavy marketing in the mainstream, but I haven't seen that much with this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ironic because I don't watch TV, so we see
Right.
different parts, and I have no idea. But
Maybe I'm just like changing the channels in the right time where I'm not seeing things.
maybe, man, let me think.
Okay, I got a question for you if you
Go for it.
are open to it. So you do have an Xbox One, right?
Yes.
What's the deal with this Elite controller? So
Oh yeah, I
is it
really go for it. Well,
is it really $150 for this
yes,
controller?
it is.
Half of what the console cost?
Yep,
Almost?
yep, and costs more than two controllers combined.
Wow.
Yeah, so from what I understand, it definitely is catering the esport gamer. And I was actually I would love to get my hands on one and try it out because I like the idea of the modular design of it. Um, but I can't personally justify 150 if I'm not a professional game player. Now, if the professionals out there, I'm telling you, if they make money of that, nope, more power to them. Uh, but 150, I mean, it is what it is. But that thing looks crazy. I'm curious if Sony's going to do anything about that or respond to that in any way.
So, a question with that, because I don't have an Xbox One, I really don't look at Xbox One news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you say modular, I mean, are you able to reposition the buttons? Are you able to,
Oh, so you don't really know
you
much
know,
about it at all?
I don't know. This is what I'm
Okay.
asking you.
Yeah, so as far as let's start with the thumbstick. So the overall shape is exactly the same as the Xbox One controller, which is very similar to the 360 controller. It's just the
Okay.
best way I could describe the feel. It's just it's definitely heftier in a good way. I'm talking about the standard Xbox One controller versus 360, and it
Uh-huh.
definitely feels a lot less curvy than a 360 controller, but it's a little bit tighter. Again, I'm only saying that in good ways. So imagine that as a standard Xbox One feel. So you are able to take the thumbsticks and swap them out for different height thumbsticks, and
Okay.
it's pretty. From what I've seen, the videos it's pretty easy to do that. The thing is, I mean, you can get. I have it for my PS4. You can get extensions to put on thumbsticks that are
Yeah.
cheap. So
I was just about to ask that. Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, um, I have not held the controller in my hands. I have not seen the actual material, so I'm pretty sure it's definitely more substantial than the plastic caps you could put on thumbsticks.
Uh-huh.
Um, with a D-pad, so basically what is usually pictured, I think, is referred to as like the D dish or something. So it's like I don't know what that feels like, but I can imagine maybe like for a fighting game, maybe it would be really cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looks kind of. I'm looking at a picture now. It looks kind of like a mini satellite dish.
Yeah, and you are able to take that off and just replace it with with a typical D-pad. No big deal. Um, Now the X, Y, A, and B buttons are not. They are the way they are, but the in the back, and you have the triggers the way they are. But in the back, you have four what people are calling paddles, and those
Hmm.
paddles essentially give you four. I don't want to say extra buttons because I think they're supposed to by default be X, Y, A, and B, without you having to, move. So the idea is like, let's say you're playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You theoretically can be able to toss a grenade or reload or switch weapons without moving your your thumb off the thumbstick. So, and I've seen that design before. It's just this is the first time I've seen an official controller done by either Microsoft or Sony. But from what I do
Right.
understand, now this is a feature the PS4 firmware has had for a little while at this point, and I think Xbox One is finally getting this. Is you can remap the buttons to any way you want.
Okay.
So those paddles you could whatever you want them to be. The same thing with X, Y, and B. Doesn't matter. One thing that's interesting though is I did see on the bottom, above the paddles on the back side of the controller, are
Mhm.
toggles that can change the play of the it's not R1, what is it, RT, the right and left triggers, so you can
Okay.
switch them between going very deep like normal or being fairly shallow. So I have heard people say, if you're playing a shooter, FPS, the shallower version might be better because you could just really quickly, rapid fire. However, if you're playing a driving game, you can get that extra throw in there to get the little minutia and the gradations of braking and accelerating and stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
but man, that is so. The reviews from what I'm hearing is like it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
expensive. If you can afford it, go for it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would make sense. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, for the professional gamer,
Mm-hmm.
um, those, I guess the paddles in the back, I could definitely see them being able to remap that to certain actions or something. Um, but wow, I mean, $150, man, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that reminds me, one thing I'm really interested. Another reason why I want to try a Steam machine is, have you seen a Steam controller?
Yeah, I did actually. It looks very comfortable.
Yeah, so I'm very curious about those touchpads because people swear, even though it does depend on the game you're playing and you can tweak it however way you want, but people swear that that right thumb circle, whatever, um, touchpad, I should say, it does a pretty darn good job of mimicking a mouse, and you could tweak whatever little fine tuning you want. But
Right.
people said you could play an RTS on on that thing, and it feels pretty intuitive. It takes a little getting used to, but from what I hear is once you get it, you get it. That's the one I'm really dying to try. I'm really dying to try that one. So.
Cool, man. I mean, it looks awesome, and I think it's going to be a success.
Yeah, we'll see. The only thing I'm kind of worried about, but not really worried about, is the fragmented nature of the Steam machine. Uh, as far as not fragmented, but the idea that it's more of a platform, and any hardware manufacturer can, uh, assuming they follow the rules of Valve, they'll be able to make one. And I think from what I understand, the rules are you gotta include a Steam controller, but you can offer a version of the console without the Steam controller. But I don't know. And I really don't know. I don't know if this is going to really compete with the PS4 or Xbox One. But at the same
Mm,
time, I don't think they care, and I don't think they should
yeah,
have to care.
yeah. I don't think they should have to carry either, and I don't think it's gonna. It's a direct challenge for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very comfortable in their own space,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just providing an extension of playability for their service. So, yeah,
Do
I
me a
think
favor, if you ever, if you ever get a new computer, you start playing Steam games again, do me a favor and play Gone Home. I wanted to play that. I was thinking about playing that for the site, but I know what happens in the game, and I don't think it would be good footage essentially. And I
okay,
would love to see you play it because I'm curious to see how you would react to it.
okay,
And it's one of those games where if you play once and you got it, but I'm telling you, that's one of my favorite games I've ever played. It was incredible.
Wow, that's a big thing right there.
It is, but I mean, but this is. I think a lot of people would call this a. Uh, substitute my real name for this. I think a lot of people call this a Jepi game.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think you would enjoy it though.
Cool.
But, you want to take a quick break?
Sure. Let's do that.
Take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Brainal Podcast. Okay, welcome back to the Brainal Podcast. Frozen, I think you said you had something to talk about?
I do. And I wanted to get your take on something because I have not been keeping up with this particular drama going on with Konami and Hideo Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
Hideo Kojima. I read recently that Konami list Kojima as an employee still, but that he is on a very well-deserved vacation after the development of Metal Gear Solid 5. But on the opposite end of that, there have been some things in Twitter that I saw that, or actually pictures of Kojima's farewell party back on the 9th of October. So, what have you heard, if anything, about that?
I've heard just about as much as you have. When I didn't see the pictures though, do the pictures clearly show farewell?
I only saw one picture, but it does not clearly. There's nothing that clearly states farewell or goodbye or any text or of anything. But there, you could see a bunch of people. They're holding up a cup, I guess, kind of in a salute, and with Kojima towards the center. People taking pictures and whatnot, but it does look like some kind of a celebration. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a good farewell party or what, but it does look like some kind of celebration.
Yeah, the first report that I read, I think it was on Polygon, just said there was it wasn't a direct statement from Kojima. It just said, "Oh, Kojima has left." So I don't know if people just kind of jumped the gun in assuming as far as what happened. But yeah, and then I did read that Konami has stated that where he's just on vacation, he's still an employee. So considering this is kind of pretty immediate how Konami responded to that. I think he is still an employee. Either that or maybe he has not had a vacation forever and he's finally cashing them in and then he's going to quit or some stuff like that. I don't know.
It could be.
We'll see. But then again, it could be Konami trying to save face and actually I don't even want to say stockholders because I don't think they're even on the market anymore. I forgot, but as far as stockholders, confidence, but
Right.
but they wouldn't lie. I think that's bad business. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If anything, they still might be in. Maybe Konami's finally coming around to something. Like as far as I think they're starting to understand. Like, hey, we are idiots, and
Yeah,
maybe
big time.
we should try and keep Kojima and let him do whatever he wants. So they might be in talks now, and I think maybe I'm obviously an inside person, and this is fact. Obviously, I can imagine that they part of it was like, look, you take a break, and then we'll resume talks when you come back, and we'll try and figure something out or whatever. Um, but I don't know. I don't know.
Could be interesting what happens if he is on a vacation and what's going to happen when he comes back. They're going to try to renegotiate the contract or what.
Yeah, I was talking to I think it was one of my friends about this, and I don't think it was Giggles, but yeah, definitely because he's not a friend. I was talking to one guy, and I'm fairly certain it was not you. That I did read another article that Guillermo del Toro was really disappointed. I'm paraphrasing, in Konami that they canceled Silent Hills, and I think he said something to the effect of it didn't make any sense. It makes no sense why you would cancel that.
Right.
I was imagining, well, if Konami kind of went on record before saying they're not going to really make any more AAA games, but then, and I think they went back on that again. I'm wondering what they should do is they should at least minimally, if they're not going to make a Silent Hills game, they should let Guillermo del Toro make a Silent Hills movie.
Ooh, that would be freaky.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. You know, if they're not going to make the game itself, because PT was the most successful thing they've had in the past. I can't remember. I don't think anyone talked more about. Oh wait, no, that's not true. That was Metal Gear. Forgot about that. Aside from Metal Gear Solid 5, before PT, the last successful thing they've had was probably Metal Gear Solid 4.
Wow.
Yeah, and that came out 2008, something like that, 2007. They're idiots, just idiots. Um, but not many. I don't know if many people know this, but I have heard that Konami actually makes a lot of their revenue with the what are they called, like pachinko machines. They make a lot of those gambling arcade, not arcade games, but those gambling games. And they make a lot of revenue that way. And
Right.
I know they're trying to make a push towards mobile,
Yeah,
but
I would imagine they have a lot more revenue streams than just obviously what we're used to.
yeah.
Those type of handheld, well, not handheld, but those type of pachinko machines, very very popular.
Oh, I think I just realized what might have happened.
What?
Okay. I think what happened was Kojima. Again, this is complete fact. Kojima and Konami started to have a falling out with certain negotiations as far as what they want to take the direction of the company. And when I say Konami, I'm talking about obviously the executives who are clueless. I can imagine Kojima saying, "Look, just trust me. If we make this game, it's gonna work out." And then something happened where some bad blood was spilled, and they're like, "Whatever." So that's when these rumors started coming out that Kojima's gonna be fired or Kojima's
Right.
gonna leave or whatever. And but keep in mind, Kojima has never made an official statement ever, right? All
Yeah,
people have
that's
noticed is
true,
that they
right?
took his name off of box art and stuff.
Yeah.
So And I don't think Konami ever made an official statement like, Kojima's not going to be with us anymore. This is all speculation. But I think what happened was, this shows how smart Konami is. I think they really didn't expect, because I can't imagine Metal Gear Solid 5 was cheap to make.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Right. But I don't think they expected it to do as well as it did. And I think what happened when the game came out, they realized how much money they made off of just sales. They're like, oh, damn. Like, maybe.
My bad.
Yeah, maybe Kojima, hey, man, why don't you go take a break and we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll talk when you come back. And,
we'll create Kajami. So I'm thinking maybe they're starting to have second thoughts, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, they clearly were in financial trouble because of the delisting from whatever market was in Japan. I forgot what it was. I think NASDAQ.
Yeah,
they delisted from NASDAQ as well, but no, yeah, NASDAQ. I was gonna say NASCAR.
Some NASCAR there.
Yeah, but I think they're starting to have second thoughts and a change of heart. They being Konami after what's going on, and I'm hoping if they're smart, they would just promote Kojima and let him just at least take care of the AAA games. You know?
Yeah, I would think it would be a great time to start backing him more and giving him, if that was the case, giving him more power to basically do whatever the hell he wants to. Okay, because he's been proven successful.
For him, it's a win-win because the way that I saw it, I was really convinced that, and I'm still to an extent convinced that he's going to leave. But basically, he's the kind of guy that he would have an escape plan. And he probably said, all right, if he probably had an ultimatum. It's like, if you're not going to let me run the company, or at least have a higher seat in the company, then I'll just create my own studio. And if I know if he created his own studio, because I don't know who owns the rights to the Fox engine, because he and his team developed that engine separately. So there might have been something in contracts where if he ever leaves, the Fox engine goes with him. And if that were the case, if he already has a game engine to run off of,
forget it. Then
he would. If he had no restraints at all with his creativity, he would be successful no matter what happened. And I think Konami is starting to realize their cash cow is their cash cow. Stupid Konami.
That could very well be the the most important chip he's got, if that engine is solely his, under his he's got the license for it, the rights for it, then that could very well be the deciding factor of it. I mean, because if you lose that, you got nothing else. You're going to have to come up with something to replace it, and pretty damn quickly. And
if he leaves, I can imagine all of his team's going to go with him.
Oh, yeah, why wouldn't? Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think that's why, it's kind of weird to have this discussion, but things are starting to make sense. I think that's why Konami said, they're like, we're not going to focus on AAA titles anymore. And I think that's because they know the people that develop AAA titles, the in-house team is going to leave if Konami left.
Yeah.
Or if Kojima left.
We're not going to do this because we don't have the engine to do it on.
I think Kojima has said everything. And I'm not beating Metal Gear Solid V, as he says. I don't think that he has. I think he said everything he's ever wanted to say with Metal Gear, and I don't think he would really care. He cares about the series, but I don't think it's a loss of his or a bargaining chip on Konami. Said, well, you can't use a Metal Gear name. He's like, I don't care. We'll make new stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I'm curious. One thing that caught my attention next week, and this is important for me for what I do essentially for a living, is next week the new Apple TV is supposed to be pre-orderable on Monday, and I think released on the 30th, which is Devil's Night, and I know that from The Crow. Anyway, so the idea is that how familiar with the new Apple TV.
How familiar am I with
Yeah.
it? Not that much, to be honest with you.
So do you know? Okay, so are you familiar that it's going to have an app store now, at least?
Oh yeah, I do know. Yes.
Okay, so I'm curious. As far as now, the mobile games are going to be not all the ones as far as at least on launch that I'm aware of, but the mobile games, the iOS games are now going to be playable on the TV, at least through the tvOS app stores, Apple TV App Store. Um, do you?
Yeah, I figure.
What kind of impact, if any, do you think that would have on the gaming industry?
None whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't think that's going to be. I mean, that's like asking. You familiar with the Roku box?
Yeah.
That's like saying what impact in gaming does the Roku box have? Because it does have gaming functionality on
Oh,
it.
while we're at it, what do you think of Amazon gaming?
Eh. It does-
I'm so shocked. I think this is another bonehead move. Okay, this is weird. I'm talking about this, but my thoughts on Amazon are always mixed. I really like certain things they do as far as Amazon Prime, the obvious stuff, and I do like certain things that they might do as far as pushing the boundaries in certain areas. Um, but to me, it's like it's got to be shopping. Personally, like I like the idea of the dash buttons that they have and stuff like that. It's stupid stuff,
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, the audacity of Amazon to be like, we're gonna create our own gaming studio.
Yeah, that's.
It kind of it really it I don't know, for some reason it really rubbed me the wrong way. It's like when they're like, we're gonna make the Amazon phone, and I know they didn't really
Yeah.
give up on it, but you don't really hear about
crashed
it,
and
right?
burned.
And there's something about that CEO I do not like. Bezos,
Yeah,
Jeff, yeah.
whatever his name is.
There's something there's something I don't like about him. But that being said, what was the gaming studio? Double Helix, I think it is, who made the new Killer Instinct, right? They
Okay.
were positioned. They were like kind of favored by Microsoft to make games that I think Killer Instinct was a pretty good, was a really good IP to develop for, especially as a comeback, and they wasted that. Not they wasted it, but they could have had the backing of Microsoft as a gaming studio, and then Amazon bought them out. It's kind of like what happened with Rare, as far as sorry, I'm popping nuts. Oh wait,
Pop them nuts.
so with Rare, for example, right? So they were kind of killing it with Nintendo, but then I think the same thing that happened to them when, ironically, Microsoft bought them. It kind of neutered them. What did Rare do with Microsoft that's really worth saying? And I'm thinking, like, I'm not.
No, I have no idea. To be
So-
honest, yeah.
Perfect Dark Zero was a bust. What was it? Cameo. I don't know how Cameo was received. I know that was a launch title. And then they did Viva Pinata, and then they were just, no one really heard. And then they just did like Connect games, you know. I feel like at this point, I think Microsoft has really established themselves as a formidable studio. If Microsoft Studios came out with a really good game, I wouldn't be surprised. And Double Helix, man, they were positioned to be, you know, the equivalent to what Rare was under Nintendo's umbrella. And then Amazon bought them out. And it's just like, you guys are idiots. Idiots.
Wow. I don't know, man.
I know something we can talk about. Okay. Name a studio you hate. Like you can't stand them.
Treyarch.
Yeah, I that's not my answer, but I can say, I feel the same way.
Without a doubt. That's shotgun. Treyarch.
Now, keep in mind, I will be reviewing Call of Duty Blobs 3. I will be doing that. But I promise to
Have
anyone
at
who's
it.
listening, I promise I'm going to approach that from the least subjective manner. And whatever happened in the past, I'm not a fan of Black Ops 1 nor 2. I promise I will not let that affect my review of 3. I promise that. But up to now, I have no reason. I never liked Treyarch.
I'll tell you what, man. You go ahead and do that. I'm not posting it to the site. I'm not posting it anywhere.
You can't be a hater like that.
Well, I don't know. I think your time would be better suited something else.
So you're saying that game is not worth reviewing? A game that you haven't played?
I know.
That's a hater
I'm hating.
mentality.
Yeah, no, it is a hater mentality. I know.
Yeah.
And I gotta think away from that. I can't fall into that stupidness. So.
But I'll tell you, Studio, I really want to curse right now. I'm trying not to, but it's Gearbox. I cannot stand Gearbox at all.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's nothing against Borderlands. It really isn't.
Right.
It's just the interviews I see with them. It's just like the Amazon CEO. Like they rub me such the wrong way. They seem like douches to the point where I really feel like they're douches. That's not a bad word, is it? That's a tool.
Yeah, tool.
This is what really bugs me. They personally, I give them kudos for Borderlands because, that is an original IP. What I don't like about Borderlands, and it's just a little thing that really rubbed me the wrong way to begin with. And we played a little bit of Borderlands 1. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it was fun. It was fun, but we never, beat it. But one thing that bugs me is just you could tell who you're dealing with by the cover art. Where it shows the one guy, shooting himself in, the head with his hand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't take suicide lightly, and I know that's just, but that's just, you could tell they're like, oh, let's be edgy. Let's be edgy. They could have done something much better. And then what they do for Borderlands 2, same guy with two things, like two hands. Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, we're edgier. And it really pisses me off.
Death.
Yeah, they remind me of, you ever seen Harold? Yeah, we saw Harold and Kumar together, the first one. Yeah. Remember those Mountain Dew guys, those extreme guys?
Yes.
Yeah, that's who they remind me of. But what really pissed me off about them was what they did with Duke Nukem and what they did with Alien Colonial Marines. And they really, and they've had bad press from the Aliens thing. But, with Duke Nukem, this is what I imagine. The whoever's in charge of I don't care to know his damn name. Whoever's in charge of Gearbox, they are they're definitely I can imagine oh man, I love Duke Nukem, and I know they probably loved Duke Nukem as a kid. Probably it probably formed their mind the way it is now. Oh, it'd be so. I feel like it was a big power trip. It's like, oh, we're gonna release Duke Nukem, and then they didn't do anything with it, right? They might have made it worse, if anything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then the same thing with Aliens Colonial Marines, and that just pisses me off. And if you think about it, the only thing that they have going for them is Borderlands. That's the only thing they have going for them at this point. And they keep milking that, like Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Borderlands, and now they're doing a Tales from Borderlands, which is not them, it's Telltale doing it. But I do know they have Battleborn coming out, and I'm really curious to see what Battleborn, how good that's going to be, because Overwatch is coming out, and Overwatch is going to destroy everything that is, an arena shooter,
Yeah.
So they, what the thing is, they are focused so much on Borderlands that they should have developed Battleborn sooner and released it a long time ago, not at the same time Overwatch is coming out, so we'll see what happens. But I don't think it's gonna. Let's start a game. Let's see in the next 3 years how many Borderlands games are gonna come out, because I feel like that's if they need money, that's what they do. They have that's their one trick pony right now.
What are they up to now? Like 5?
Borderlands 1, 2. I'm not including ports. I think just 3 core ones. Right?
Okay.
I'm not including Tales from Borderlands, but the best part is the Tales from Borderlands, I don't think they had any. I think if that were to be good for any reason, I don't think any of that creativity came from them at all. But yeah, they pissed me off. So I'm not saying Brainal's going to avoid their games, but I personally don't think I would be well suited to review their games because of my initial how I imagine you with Treyarch.
Yeah, I wouldn't want us to alienate any game or any developer if we're doing the reviews. And I realize that I hate Treyarch, but if it was up to me to review a game that they came out, I'm gonna take it seriously. So.
Yeah, I think Giggles should review any games we don't want to review. Giggles,
that sounds good.
Gearbox.
That sounds awesome.
Sports.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do a bet. Let's do a bet because who knows if Giggles gonna hear this at all. So we had a conversation last week. Yeah, and Giggles, he is an Assassin's Creed fan. But one thing about Giggles is he rarely completes games. Rarely. And
hold on 1 second. Did Assassin's Creed come out today?
Today.
And he's not here today.
No, he has. Trust me, he has he had an event he had to go to. Yeah, that's right. Otherwise he'd be on here. He'd be talking about it. You can check online.
Okay.
The idea is, Gagel says, he'd be down to review Assassin's Creed. Let's have, not a bet, but let's. I'm curious. I want to know how long do you think it would take. We're not gonna put anything on the line, but how long do you think it would take him to, assuming he does finish the game? How long do you think it would be before the review comes out?
Before the review comes out?
Yeah. How long would go? How much time would go by between today, the release date? October 23rd, and the review.
And what are we reminding him or no?
No.
I don't think
I'll remind him once. I'll remind him once just to get an official word from him that he's going to do the review.
I think it will happen in January.
I don't think it's going to happen in January because I'm pretty sure some game's going to come out that's going to get his attention. Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, it's going to take a while for him to beat it. And for him to, I don't think a video review is going to be difficult. So we'll at least say a written review. So that way we don't factor in the time of me editing into that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. So win-win for us. If he does hear this, Giggles, get on it. Okay, but he won't.
Yeah, get it done by tomorrow.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what videos we do. He has no idea what's going on in Soma. He doesn't know what Mist is or Last Play. You know what? We should do this next week. We should quiz him on our own videos.
Oh, I'm so down for that.
Yes, we'll see. And I'm going to quiz him on his own videos. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's do that, man. Yeah.
But I will be working with him in a Halo 5 review. But yeah, we'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. But to his credit, he did say last week that he might not be able to podcast this week, or at least on a Friday.
I do want to carve out some time with you guys to do that, the bomb manual game that we talked.
Do you have access to it?
I think so.
What's the platform?
PC or it's an online thing. So.
Oh, so you just need a browser?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
As far as I know, I could be completely wrong, but as far as I know, I think that's what you need. So, what I'm thinking is, I really want to play that.
Yeah, I'd be totally down for that. I know Giggle's gonna screw it up.
Okay, because I would want you guys to be
the experts
with the manual. Yeah, the experts.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
And so I definitely want to carve out some time to do that.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. I'll be down for that. Anything else?
Oh man, I think that's about it. I'm ready to hop on and play some games.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Is there a particular game you'd want to play right now?
Destiny, because I gotta go see what Zur is selling.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we'll check it out. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for Brainal Podcast. This was episode 4 on October 23rd. I was about to say 1982, but that is 2015 was the correct year. Thanks again, Frozen, for joining it and being here for Brainal, unlike some other people.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm dependable. You can count on me.
I can.
And I don't know who this Mr. Giggles is, but he must not hold us accountable. But before we go, Scorp, what's up, dude?
Hello, Garp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Later, guys.
Peace.